What's up? What it do, man? It's Uptown Eon, man. I'm back here again. I done noticed some things. Y'all know I've been following a lot of little court cases. You know, that's what I like. I like to see what they doing in the courtroom, what lawyers know what they doing, which way they going to exercise their rights to, freedom of speech, Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure, Fifth Amendment, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself. But I see something that a lot of bloggers are doing. Bloggers and internet personalities. I'm going to say two things. One is, they're not doing their due diligence and researching where Lil Durk is. If you follow me on Instagram or you follow me on YouTube, you know I clearly been up with it. So to get straight to the point, the two things are this. One, they keep saying he in Broward County Detention Center. That is a state facility. That's where they took him when they first snatched him, because they snatched him in such a place that they had to do that. The very next day, if I'm not mistaken, the very next day, Lil Durk was arraigned in federal court, was denied bond, and then he was sent to FDC Miami. I'm going to show you pictures of it. But he was sent to FDC Miami. That's a federal, FDC Miami is a federal facility. I had a homie, a partner of mine by the name of Mustafa Zulu, on his way being transferred from Thompson, Illinois. I don't know how many of y'all familiar with Thompson, Illinois, but secretly, the BOP was creating like a defunct ADX in Illinois. It's called Thompson. And they discovered a lot of racism and a lot of, I think they call it cockfighting, where they pit inmate against inmate for fighting reasons to bet on it. Anyway, a lot of racism, man, occurred at that place. And it was supposed to be a maximum joint. But like they do a lot of times, they build these prisons in these small rural communities, and they tell the people there's going to be a minimum or a medium. But in all actuality, they'll put a fence around it and not a wall. And then they'll bring the most dangerous or the most restricted custody inmates there. Nevertheless, my man was transferred to this joint, FDC Miami. And this is not Broward County. This is not no state facility. Lil Durk is now in the feds. More than likely, I didn't check, but I got a man that's there, and I asked him, did he see Lil Durk or the Durk coming to any population block? He said, Lil Durk ain't going to no population block. They going to put him in the hole. That's basically segregation. And he said that he believes they're going to put him in the hole because, number one, he's too high at this point in time in his case, they saying that they kind of looking at him like P. Diddy now. In no way do I think Lil Durk is suicidal. Lil Durk is Muslim. Allah reminds us that with every difficulty there is ease. And I believe that Durk knows this much. But at this point in time, I think what Durk is doing is contemplating. And I got to be real. One of the things he's wondering is, what did I say? Who did I say it to? And what are they using? But another thing that I think that was legally kind of smart, for whatever reason, Lil Durk lost his phones. So at least that's not going to be a part of whatever the evidence is. But in FDC Miami, I'm going to tell you, this the address if you want to write Lil Durk. Matter of fact, I posted his name and his number for the ladies. Anybody that's in prison or been in prison know that mail, no matter how bad things are going, mail sometimes lifts your day up, right? So, I implore y'all to write Durk. So remember, all the blog guys, all the YouTubers that saying he's in Broward County, they not doing their due diligence. They not doing their homework. He's in MDC, and I can tell you that MDC is just like the place where P. Diddy is at in New York. He's in Brooklyn. FDC is what I believe they call it, because Manhattan was MDC. But nevertheless, this is one of those type of places. It's a federal jail. Now, I looked up the information on FDC Miami, and the reports are nothing like where Diddy is right now. But in all actuality, they got all type of federal agencies investigating the joint where Diddy at. But the visiting information for FDC Miami is how to visit an inmate. This covers the basic fundamentals that apply to all of our institutions. This comes from the BOP website. The BOP welcomes visitors to our institutions. We remind all visitors to carefully review our visiting regulations and to observe any applicable state or local travel advisories. All right. In all actuality, I don't think Durk is going to be at this place for more than a few weeks. I mean, I believe that they want to get him to Los Angeles to have him arraigned and the formal charges there. And then more than likely, he's going to be placed in a federal facility there. Or he could be placed in a LA County jail for a certain amount of time. But the feds, the U.S. Marshals, are going to place him wherever they want him, right? How do you schedule a visit and what are the visiting procedures? Official policy at FDC Miami that outlines the specific regulations and the procedures for various inmates. You can go to the website and you can find that out there. How to send things here. I just gave you the regular address, right? But if you was to look up Durk Banks, D-U-R-K, Devontae Banks, and find his number will be right there. I can get it to you if you want to, if you're a person that want to write him and you think that that's a beneficial thing. But in order to write Durk, where he is at right now, inmate name and register number. I told you how to get that. I'll drop it in the video. FDC Miami, Federal Detention Center. That's what FDC means. P.O. Box 019120, Miami, Florida, 33101. That is Durk's writing address. If you want to write him, you want to send him a card, you want to tell him to keep your head up, homie, your music got me through something, you want to send him a letter. All the ladies out there, you want to send them a picture, you want to send them some encouragement, you want to send them a prayer. That's the address right there. I'll drop it in the box. Inside, what does these cells look like? Well, in the whole, the cell is going to be comprised of a slab of some sort to put a mattress, a metal desk, a toilet, and a steel door. More than likely, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm very, very, very confident that Durk is in a cell by himself right now. More than likely, he's going to come out something like an hour. It's going to be 23-1 because of his status. I don't believe that they're going to let him walk around like a regular person, just like P. Diddy, just like a lot of these guys when they get there. Now, there are some stories of people like Kodak. Kodak was in Big Sandy, very, very violent United States penitentiary. He was there with a friend of mine by the name of Trey and some other dudes, but my man Trey was in the unit with him. He said, man, you know, Kodak Black used to run with all the young homies, you know what I mean? They beating on the wall and rapping, and he said he ran with them. Now, I'd have heard some stories that said Kodak Black was a sucker in prison. I'm only talking about Big Sandy where my homies was at. My homie said that that wasn't true. They didn't make him out to be no big-time gangster, but they said that Shawty wasn't rocking. And one thing that they said about him that stood out to me is they said that Kodak always had a problem with the police. He said, man, he'd do his thing and the police would jump out there and he would have no problems with dealing with the police. But nevertheless, this the information. Now, I don't think Durk need no money, but if somebody out there think that he might need a few dollars to use the phone or something, you want to send inmate money, you send inmate money through Western Union, right? Or you send inmate money through the Desmont's Iowa address. You go to the Western Union, and on Western Union, you click at the top and say pay inmate. When they give you the information, you put your credit card number in, you put his name in, you put his Fed number in, you hit the bottom of the button, boom, money gone. Nevertheless, I think it would be a better issue and a better support mechanism for Durk, for, the ladies to write him and send him a few pictures. Although right now, I don't believe his mind is there, but who knows, man? It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, one of these days after 4 o'clock. Man, just think about that. At 4 o'clock, Durk got to stand up. At 4 o'clock, Durk got to stand up. At 4 o'clock, Durk got to stand up like this at his door. That's crazy. Stand up count. He got to get up and stand up. I think Durk got a fighting chance. I seen this joint on Say Cheese with Charleston White. Man, and I hate to come on here and act like I'm trying to pick a bone with Charleston White, right? But Charleston White act like he done been in the feds before, and he really know how it go when it come to being in the federal courtrooms. Let me tell you this. I got homies that done beat the feds. I got homies that got found guilty and got life sentences and gave the life sentences back in 20 years. Nobody is unbeatable, bro. He keep talking about the feds when they got you, they got you. Yeah, it's a known fact that when the feds come, they pretty much got what they want to charge you at, but you must fight. Mistakes are made. Processes are violated. Rules and regulations are violated. Rights are violated. You understand? Like, I got a homie that had 2 life sentences. The prosecutor in this case had committed gross prosecutorial misconduct. And what I mean by gross, I mean, we're going to use the word paid. Because remember, anything you give as a reward or an award is a payment. But he was letting witnesses have sex with their girlfriends. He was letting witnesses in jail meet with their loved ones in secret rooms and eat and drink and abuse drugs. He had money that came from the Superior Court side and the Federal Court side out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in the District of Columbia, paid multiple witnesses with different cases. You can look this up. His name is G. Paul Howes. I got a story coming on him. One of the most corrupt prosecutors in D.C. history. But He was a guy that they thought was a home run hitter, like a Babe Ruth of prosecutors. So he prosecuted the Newton Street crew. He prosecuted Panama, Javier Card. And at the end, guess what? All the convictions was overturned. Now, yeah, they may say somebody pleaded guilty to time served, but these guys were never supposed to come home again. So when you got people like Charleston White, you know what I'm saying, who promote telling and all this other stuff, he's saying, man, why couldn't I be this guy from the community? Bro, where we from, we don't do all that telling. Take that telling over there. You know what I mean? Y'all keep running to him like he got the resources mentally or intellectually to define what's going on. I can't respect it. As soon as they ask him about Durk, the very first thing he talking about is, oh, he dead and this is a win for all these other people. Bruh, it's never a win when they send somebody to jail. Don't ever forget that. Free the real.
So I've been looking over the downtown Fifth luxury rental apartments brochure, and inside you can see the floor plans, of course, that they talk about. They talk about being very close to the Metro Mover and having access to the museums nearby, the American Airlines Arena just a couple of blocks away. But what this brochure does not talk about when it comes to living here are the sometimes very noisy and rowdy next door neighbors.
You definitely get what you pay for.
But this particular amenity was very much unanticipated.
There was inmates literally hanging off of the wire windows there.
You heard him right. Inmates from the Miami Federal Detention Center yelling from their recreational space across from Ryan Ray's apartment building.
I don't use the pool that much here because it doesn't get sun very much, but it does get sun during like the time that they're in there.
Ryan recorded this video Monday from the pool deck up on the 15th floor. Now it's hard to make out what the inmates are yelling, but the whistling and the intended targets are very clear. Ryan tells me he moved in a little more than a year ago, now pays $2,700 a month for his 2-bedroom unit. He says he knew the detention center was there.
I moved in right at the peak of when everyone was moving to Miami and there was very little availability.
Downtown Fifth's 2 towers boast more than 1,000 1-, 2-, and 3-bedroom units stacked 52 floors high. It opened in 2021 on what was a parking lot. The Federal Detention Center right across the street has been housing men and women of all security levels since 1995.
Do you think the developer cared?
No.
I couldn't get anyone on the phone with the developer to see what, if anything, is being done to mitigate the issue. I'm still waiting for a reply to my emails. On-site property managers tell me, though, the detention center does come up on tours. I'm told some residents have complained, but that the issue is, quote, not a problem.
The girls walk out the balcony and they're like, guys are like, yeah.
So it's a thing.
It's a thing.
A thing the Federal Bureau of Prisons is taking seriously. In a statement, a spokesperson writes, "The issue presented in the video is under investigation, and we are actively pursuing a solution that both addresses the concern of the public and is in accordance with American Correctional Association guidelines."
I think Miami is a wild, crazy place.
But does it have to be? Speaking of Miami, we did reach out to the city because we wanted to see if anywhere in the development portfolio, while this site was being developed, before it was built, did any of this come up? Were there any red flags or concerns raised? We're waiting to get those records back. In the meantime, here's the real gag. I learned that this place behind me is 98% occupied.
Oh my God. No! Twerk for them, Brianna. I hate this twerk. Please. Oh my God. No! Twerk for them, Brianna. I hate this twerk. Please. Oh my God.